Good evening. You're watching the Weekend Urban Debate with me, Aarti Subramaniam. Tonight, we're going to bring you news and analysis of the day's top stories. It's been raining incessantly in Kerala for the past few days, and landslides triggered by the heavy rainfall have resulted in the deaths of 21 people. The worst hit areas are the two districts of Kottayam and Idukki. Of course, the continuous deforestation, construction and improper land use has caused a number of landslides year after year, disturbing the ecological balance. In fact, we've seen the price that we've paid as a result of that. We're bringing you visuals of the destruction, homes washed away, paddy fields flooded, bridges, road and dikes completely destroyed. The search for several missing people is underway, and the Army, the Navy and the NDRF have been roped in. 105 relief camps have been set up and hundreds of people have been moved to safety. The state and the centre are closely monitoring the situation. The Prime Minister, in fact, earlier today also spoke to Kerala's Chief Minister, assuring all assistance. We're going to bring you the latest situation on ground from Kerala from my colleague Vivek there. We're going to get in touch with him in just a bit. But I want to go across to Mahesh Palawat, the Vice President of SkyMet as well. Mr. Palawat, good evening. Thank you so much for speaking to Mirror Now. I appreciate you joining us. If I can just request your indulgence for just one moment when we go across to Vivek to just understand what the situation on the ground currently is in Kerala, and then I'll come back to you to look forward to see what the weather like is going to be in Kerala for the next couple of days. Vivek, over to you. Just give us a sense of the current situation in terms of the death toll, the destruction and the rescue and relief operations.
Yes, Aarti, as far as the death toll is concerned, 21 people have died in the last 48 hours due to the massive landslides and landslips that occurred in Kottayam, Pathanamthitta and Idukki districts, and there are still 13 people who are missing. Some of them are feared to be trapped under the debris, and some seem to be missing, especially from Kottayam district. What I understand from the IMD sources is that for the next 24 hours, rains will continue in south and central districts, but the intensity of the rain will be a bit less as compared to what we saw till now. But in the meantime, the IMD has also advised people living in the coastal areas to be very, very careful. People not to venture near the sea, especially near the beaches, and also people living in near the hilly areas, which is mainly prone to landslides and landslips, especially in Idukki, Kottayam districts, are advised not to stay there at least for some of the days coming, because till 19th morning rains are expected, and after that, what I understand is that the intensity, the magnitude of the rain will be less. But this time around, if you look at the landslides that occurred mainly in Plapalli, in Kuttikal and also in Idukki district, these are all high range areas, and there are people who are staying especially in these places. And also there are a variety of reasons that's been cited for all these things. One is that the intensity of the rainfall. Now, when you speak to a number of geologists and other people, the intensity of the rainfall, has changed right now. This is mainly because of the drastic change in climate. Now, earlier, it was a uniform, rainfall, especially between the 1st of June till the 15th of August. But now what's happening is that, in a month, there will be at least 15 to 20 days of rainfall, but the intensity of the rainfall is very, very high, due to which there is, massive landslides and landslips that occur in hilly terrain areas, and hence these landslides lead to rise in water levels, especially in districts like Pathanamthitta. Remember, Pathanamthitta, Alappuzha, these are all low-lying areas, whereas Kottayam, Idukki, these are all high-range areas, and hence there is chances of waterlogging, and hence this could disrupt the traffic, and this could disrupt the human lives. Now, if you look at today, in a place called Manimala, a bridge was washed away during the landslides that took place yesterday evening. So this is a 25-year-old bridge, a very strong bridge that was built, and that bridge was washed away. And when I was traveling throughout the length and breadth of Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Idukki districts, I can see a trail of massive destruction that's been reported in these areas. And hence, this is one thing is very, very sure, very, very clear, that the landslides and landslip that's been reported in these areas, it's massive, and now it's up to the government to at least try to ensure that unscientific constructions, especially in these areas, should be stopped. The Madhav Gadgil committee report that submitted earlier has clearly said that constructions in these kind of areas, is not good for the nature,
Yeah.
and hence the government should come out with a clear resolution to ensure that constructions, illegal constructions in these areas should be stopped. But there was large-scale protest against this Madhav Gadgil committee report back in 2003 and 2005.
Yeah.
Where a large number of people protested against this, saying that it's a kind of direct attack by the government, where people are not allowed to do their agricultural works and other kind of industries. Hence, there is a larger conspiracy behind this.
Yeah.
So, taking into consideration all these kind of things, it's up to the government to come up with new rules and regulations to
Yes.
ensure that these kind of constructions, unscientific constructions in these areas, at least in the coastal hilly areas,
Yeah.
should be stopped at any point of time.
Okay, Vivek, thank you so much for that. We'll keep coming back to you for more. I want to go across to the Vice President of SkyMet, Mahesh Palawat. Mr. Palawat, thank you so much for waiting on patiently. Over the past several years now, we've been seeing heavy rainfall triggering landslides, not just in Kerala, but also in Uttarakhand, in Himachal Pradesh. It's become an annual feature. In your experience, has there been a change in climate patterns? Has there been a change in the kind of rainfall that we're seeing specifically in Kerala as well as other parts of India as well?
Yes, Aarti, not only Kerala, across the globe and many parts of India, particularly over many parts of coastal Karnataka, Kerala, Mumbai, and Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, all over the places we are witnessing that extreme weather events are rising year by year. And this is the impact of climate change. Due to climate change and global warming, air temperature is rising and the capacity of air to hold moisture is also increasing. Therefore, the rainy days are shrinking, but the intense weather activities, the short duration of rain, the intense rain activities in short duration, say cloudburst, which is a definition of cloudburst, is when 100 millimeter or rain or more rain occurs in a span of say an hour or so, it is known as cloudburst. So this type of cloudburst situation and extreme weather events, torrential rain, these are on a rise, and we can say this is the cost of deforestation, unplanned urbanization, and encroachment of water bodies. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Palawat, now what does the weather forecast hold for Kerala in the next couple of days? Because obviously when there's continuous heavy rainfall, there's always a risk of further landslides, and that of course hampers rescue operations.
You see, Aarti, this rainfall, this intense rainfall, which we have seen during last 2 to 3 days, was a result of a low pressure area which has developed over Southeast Arabian Sea at adjacent parts of Kerala. Now, this low pressure area has weakened and it is lying as a cyclonic circulation over Kerala. That's why these rains are continuing with lesser intensity. So, we think that by tomorrow morning or afternoon, rain intensity will start decreasing. Until then, the overall intensity will go down. But moderate showers with 1 or 2 short intense spells cannot be ruled out, and by tomorrow evening there will be significant decrease in rain activities, and there may be light rain to moderate rain, or we can say patchy showers will continue thereafter. So we can say another 24 hours are very crucial.
Okay, and Mr. Palawat, just very finally and very quickly, of course, you did mention at the larger level how climate change is affecting rainfall in several parts of the world, in several parts of India as well. When it comes to Kerala more specifically, is there something that the governments need to keep in mind while planning? Because we've seen this to be an annual feature. We've seen this to happen year on year where there is heavy rainfall followed by landslides. Is there something that the government needs to factor in while planning ahead for these natural disasters?
Until now, the damage has been done because encroachment of water bodies has already taken place, and unplanned urbanization and construction has already done. So, but now for future, we can make rules so that this unplanned urbanization, or the scientifically, which Vivek has told you, that there should be construction with scientific knowledge and the encroachment of water bodies should be stopped. Deforestation should also be stopped, because when there is deforestation, the hills become fragile, and whenever there is a heavy downpour, the landslide, mudslide occurs, leading to widespread damage to life and property. So, restoration of green cover should also be done, and rules and regulations should be obeyed and should be followed strictly.
Okay, Mr. Palawa, thank you so much. I appreciate you laying that out for our viewers. Of course, it is an annual problem, but climate change is real. Remember, even we've had several reports from the United Nations warning about how severe and how grim the situation is, and it's time to act now, as we're seeing in several parts of our country, extreme climate change affecting our lives on a day-to-day basis.